Stellar Blade is looking amazing, and I'm super excited to play the game. However, you know a game is getting really popular when a bunch of idiots on Twitter and or Reddit are trying to co-opt the game to act as a megaphone for whatever niche conversation they want to have. Oh boy! Stellar Blade, Eve, and sexualization of the character. Oh goody. Well, it was bound to happen, and has been happening for a while and is really taken off lately, as hype rises as the game imminently comes out. And I think one of the really annoying aspects to all of this is that you know that half the people debating this online, or trying to take down Stellar Blade, wouldn't even play it in the first place, or had any desire to, just using the game as a platform for the Twitter or Reddit debate. I also think the conversation about how sexy Eve is just kind of reduces the game to just the character design, when if you've seen the trailers or played the demo, which is available right now, you know the game is much more than that. At least it is to me. It has an incredible combat and gameplay loop, put alongside an engrossing world that is beautifully designed, and a soundtrack that is really good. It's one of the ways of the internet, and a tale as old as time itself. People emphasize a topic and blow it out of proportion and exaggerate its overall importance in the guise of gathering clicks and attracting attention at the disservice of the actual conversation. Because let's think about this logically. What is this conversation really about? The fact that Eve, the main character of Stellar Blade, is sexy and has various outfits that emphasize that sex appeal. But with the way people are talking about this online, you would think this is either the perfect example of why gamers are bad and evil, and just a bunch of incels cuddled up in their rooms talking about a virtual character that doesn't exist, or that Stellar Blade is somehow leading the charge against the quote-unquote woke agenda, when at the end of the day, she's just a sexy video game character. You either play the game and really enjoy the game, play the game not enjoy the game, or you just pass it by. At the end of the day, that's all it is. If you dig deep enough on Twitter and or Reddit, you are bound to find some idiotic take about any given situation that no one of a sound, rational mind will agree with, because the drivel they are spewing isn't grounded in logic and reason, but more than likely is nothing more than a knee-jerk reaction in an attempt to pivot a topic or some conversation to whatever banner that they pretend to wave, or that I'm starting to find more and more likely, and more commonly, it's grounded in the idea that if it isn't targeted for them and their specific appeals, that it must be inherently bad and or evil. I swear to God, sometimes, people don't understand that not everything has to be targeted for them. There's plenty of games out there that wildly sexualize male individuals. I'm not into that. Do I go on a giant internet tirade about why it's evil and it's bringing society down or whatever? No, it's not for me. I mind my own business. I stay in my lane. I screw off. Go talk about games I care about. Because at the end of the day, who cares? I made a previous video on this topic as well, but it just kind of feels to me as if the vitriol is even more ingrained and just more overall potent recently. And I think that's probably because, the game's about to come out, or has already come out if you're watching this video after its release. At the end of the day, I don't see how Eve being sexy is hurting anybody. What's that old, slogan, sex sells? Duh. People like looking at things they find attractive or pleasing. Duh. It's common sense. This is not some wild revelation or anything. Most people know this. And I don't understand why people have to try and pretend as if this is some great evil or it's somehow bad. If every character is reduced to nothing more than just a blatant sex object, then absolutely, that's just bad writing. But I don't think it's fair to judge Eve as nothing more than that when you watch anything pertaining to the game. Whether you played the demo or watched the trailers, there's a story going on. I don't know if it's good. I haven't played the full game yet, but I know that it's going to explore some decently deep themes about our purpose in life and all that. We had this same conversation back in the day in regards to Nier Automata, and that turns out to be one of my not just one of my favorite game of all time, particularly because of the themes that it explores with its main characters and how it develops and unravels those themes, and then eventually reconstructs the idea of what it means to be human. And surprise, surprise, the game was able to do that all the while having A2 and 2B being sexy. Also, Adam and Eve from that game definitely appeal to people of different tastes. At the end of the day, it's not that important. It's not that big of a deal if people find a character sexy or not, or if a character has sexy outfits as a cosmetic in a video video game. You're not forced to like it, but just like, it's weird to be on an internet tirade, trying to demonize people who are looking forward to or even enjoying Stellar Blade from its trailers and demo, which is what some, not all, but some traditional game journalism outlets are doing. And when you demonize your target audience for so long, you're gonna get pushback at the end of the day. But like I said before, it's important not to overemphasize or over-exaggerate the importance of an individual problem or conversation. There's plenty of people out there that probably don't care that much about Stellar Blade and are simply just not gonna play or talk about it. They're minding their own business, which is what you're supposed to do more often than not. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a few people on Twitter or in positions to make their voice heard that are having stupid conversations and stupid opinions about a topic of a video game. It's a tale as old as time, as I led off with this video. I'm highly looking forward to Stellar Blade. It's gonna be almost certainly, if it holds up to the quality of the demo, one of my favorite games of the year. And yeah, it's like easy to just say, ignore it, forehead, but when a game you're really looking forward to gets this conversation surrounding it, it gets really annoying, you know? Like, it's not gonna be the end of the world or anything, don't get me wrong, it's kind of annoying. More often than not, the nuance in an internet conversation is nothing more than an illusion. People try and dig their trenches and stay in them, and everyone caught in the middle is just caught in the crossfire. It's this super cringe, like, culture war that's going on, especially in gaming. It's not just gaming, but it's a pretty loud topic in gaming, where you have, like, two sides that clearly don't care about the actual quality of the games, or the state of the games industry, and are just trying to piggyback off of whatever conversation they can to try and further emphasize their point in whatever way they can. You saw this a little bit with the whole Warhammer 40k situation going on. Now, I'm not a Warhammer 40k fan, so I can't talk about that situation personally. I would like to get into 40k, but I wouldn't say that I've dove into it yet. But you saw all that conversation about, I don't even know the rank of the soldier that was being talked about in that game. I don't know the name. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, the inclusion of female custodes, and them trying to act as if that had always been canon. I'm not a 40k fan, so I don't know. I haven't read the canon. No one wants to hear my opinion about a topic I don't know anything about, so I stay in my lane. But so many people on the internet in the service of trying to hunt down clicks, or try and gain some kind of attention or support from their own trench, feel the need to chime in. I think it brings down overall discussion and the quality of discussion that can happen, especially in gaming, where sometimes these conversations need to happen. At the end of the day, these companies don't care about you. They never have, and they certainly never will. They care about money, first and foremost, and they will appeal to whoever they believe will make them the most money. I'd rather appreciate really good games made by people who give a damn, who have passion, who have a vision, that want to make a really good game. And you know what? Stellar Blade looks like a game that had a lot of passion from a group of developers who wanted to make a great game. That is abundantly apparent if you've played the demo. So yeah, TLDR, I don't see the problem with Eve being sexy. Depending upon how they want to tackle this story, it could go into the themes of whole, Adam and Eve, because Adam is another main character in this game. But even at the end of the day, if the decision to make Eve look like this was simply because they wanted to make a character hot or appealing, cool. Fine. I'm not one to get upset if the main character of a game that I'm playing is hot. So long as the game is good and the story is well written and the characters are engaging and, good characters, cool. Fine by me. So long as those prerequisites are met, I'd rather look at a character that I find visually attractive or pleasing, or cool or whatever. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And with that, I think I'll call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure for making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your opinions on the matter. Do you prefer it when your characters, are visually appealing or whatever? Do you think Eve being sexy is a big deal or not a big deal? I guess we can just leave it at that. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Go play some video games. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you all next time. Until we meet again.